Well, then some point out there. Good, huh?
Gotta be Sabrina. It's my game. Nice and like slow off the dribble, stop and start.
So that's you. Right
Step
there.
back three.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. If you have a question for Eric, please raise your hand and we will get started. Kareem, do you have an in-person question?
Oh, yes, I do. Thank you. Obviously, news that you'll be taking over for the last two. I guess just kind of first question, can you share is Mike okay? Did he test positive? Can you share any details about that?
Yeah, he's feeling good. He's in the health and safety protocols. He was positive. Luckily, that's all it's confined to. Just our regular protocol of testing this week. And our regular distancing and all of that, and luckily the vaccinations and the testing have done their job. And he's feeling good. He was on the call with the team today, getting ready for practice. So probably the thing that's eating him the most is just not being here for the last couple of games, and just making sure family's healthy. So so far so good in that department. But yeah, definitely not the timing you want for this, but feels like the type of year it's been.
So feeling okay.
Yeah, he's feeling well. Yeah, he's feeling well.
Okay, good. Well, what's this change for you? Obviously, big chair for these final two, and a pretty important two.
He hasn't had the decency to get ejected in 9 years before now, so I guess this is how I'm getting thrown into it. But obviously, having been here a long time, I know how he wants his team to run and play. So I don't think there's going to be like a gap in how we go about things or what we try to do. It's just, sliding over into that seat and having to make calls and subs and stuff on the fly will be a different experience. But I was kind of telling a couple people that probably the magnitude of the game, both games this weekend, helps everybody focus on that. Obviously everybody's concerned for coach. But it also helps you walk into a film session and practice today, and you've got everybody's full attention because everybody knows what Friday night means.
Were there too many other head coaches around the league today running point, you think?
I'm gonna guess not, but I can't say for sure. I know Fred Williams still gets it in sometimes, so I don't want to say no and then hear that Fred's been practicing.
Some nuts and bolts folks that we want to check on. Elena, saw her on this side. Has a decision been made on her? Will you guys think about traveling her, or any decision made?
She's still being evaluated day to day right now, and so we will see. Obviously, there'll be a decision made about traveling by tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I saw Maisha's back out there. Is she full go? I know before it was a lot of, I guess fatigue. How is she doing now?
Maisha's good. She's been feeling better now for a few days, and has worked her conditioning back up the last couple of days. So yeah, she's good. She's full practice today and should be good to go.
I saw Tina was out for that last section. Anything up with her, or was that just kind of pulling her out a little bit?
Just trying to be smart with her. She's played a lot of minutes, and especially having missed a few games, and we got another practice tomorrow and a shoot around to prep. Just trying to make sure that we don't overdo it between now and Friday.
And one last thing, I won't keep up everybody. I mean, you spoke about the magnitude of the game on Friday. Do you even is there anything along those lines that even needs to be said, or does everybody understand what's on the line and all that kind of stuff? And it's more of, hey, let's just focus on, the on-court stuff. We don't need to very much talk about standings and all that. Everybody kind of knows.
Yeah, I think there's two parts. One, like everybody knows, we're one win from clinching a playoff spot. After all kind of the ups and downs of the year, we've got a chance to go in, not only get in, but get in, hopefully playing well. It's the third time we're playing New York. Each team's got one, so that's a big game as well. But I just think I think our focus, even though we haven't played perfectly the last couple of games, I think our focus and our ability to be locked in together is improving where we need to. I don't know if we just kind rallied ourselves mentally after what happened out in Seattle, but it's been a nice bounce back, and it's good to see kind of everybody back pulling the right direction.
Cool. I'll let other folks go. Thank you.
Thanks, Kareem.
Scott?
Oh, what's going on, Eric? Glad to hear Pops is doing okay. Just from a human element, what was that like for you to hear that your father tested positive for the virus that unfortunately has been just crazy across the world and not going away? Were you surprised, and I guess, are you worried or were worried that, your father tested positive?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was surprised in the sense that you just don't expect it. But when you look at, case numbers and everything across the United States and around the world, like it's not shocking that somebody would test positive. We've seen a couple in the league. Fortunately for us, even though he's 70 years old, our whole team's vaccinated, the whole league is vaccinated, and we're testing regularly enough to catch something like this. So I feel, it's for sure scary right off the bat. But I feel really fortunate that we, kind of like live in the time that we do, for one, and that we have been able to, as a league and as a team, all our medical people here, handle the situation as quickly as you can handle it. So now all that's left is to help him make a full recovery and keep everybody else safe as well.
This year, this team has faced so much adversity. I don't have to go through the list. You know the list yourself. Is this team prepared for something like this so late in the season because of all the adversity and all the challenges you faced leading up to this?
I mean, my first thought is yes, and that it just kind of feels like, even though it's different to other situations, it's kind of been the theme of the season that people have been in, and once you get one person in, somebody else is out. But it is different. I mean, it's a different scenario where you're actually concerned for somebody's health. So it's the same, but I don't think that it's just a weird scenario. I think we're probably ready to handle it. I guess the question is, right, like it'll be on me. Like, can I handle it in that seat? But that's okay. If our players are ready to go, we'll be just fine.
Obviously, you and your father, two different coaching styles, but I'm sure you have some similarities as well. How do you think the players will respond to you as the head man on the bench the last two games?
I mean, I would hope at this point that I've got enough, level of trust with the players that they're not going to worry too much about it, to be honest with you. I think that, I kind of said it, I think before, but like the magnitude of the game probably helps take care of it, and that they're probably not going to be worried about me that much. New York has plenty for them to worry about. We have a big goal that's sitting right in front of us, and we're not reinventing ourselves between now and Friday. We're going to play as hard as we can, play together, play smart, and hopefully execute well enough to go up there and win.
Cool. Thanks. Good luck.
Thanks.
Tyler?
Hey, Eric, well wishes to your family and Mike. My question's kind of similar to Scott's in a way, but was the team able to kind of process this information at all? Or was it like we have to get into practice and we have to get right in ready for these next couple of games?
Yeah, I mean, I think like people got a heads up. Medical team make sure that everybody has their questions answered about the whole situation, and I think it helps when coach gets on and on the team Zoom and says he's feeling well and all that. So I think that kind of just seeing him and like he's not like pale and laying in bed, he's feeling good. So I think that kind of puts some of those fears to rest, at least for as we're getting ready to step on the practice court today. So I don't know. I mean, these guys have, players have experienced so many different things between injuries and, personal stuff. And, we've had players themselves in the past that have had, stuff like this to deal with. So I don't think that it's going to phase them too long. Obviously, they're all checking in on coach, and first concern is his health. But I think they have a pretty good ability to separate the two things.
And then how much of a difference is the game? Obviously, Mike's not going to be there, but knowing him, I would kind of assume he would want to be involved in the game prep and want to be involved. And getting you guys in the best position to succeed. How much of that feedback is going to be between you two, at least leading up to the first game against New York?
Yeah, when we do our our staff calls and stuff, he's on the call this morning, and he's on the Zoom or whatever during our film session. So he's still involved. I mean, I would say it feels pretty normal. It's just I'm the main voice now in practice of getting putting us through practice. But at this point in the year, you're not going to like run a entirely different type of practice, getting ready for a game. So I think the only real difference will be when we get to the arena and then the game starts and it's not his voice there. They're hearing yelling at him from the sideline.
And last one, just more of a check-in. There's not going to be any necessary follow-up testing for the team, is there? You guys are all good on that front?
We're just there's league protocols for this. We're testing regularly as it is. So we're just going to follow the protocols that are laid out by our team in the league.
Thank you, Eric.
Yep. Thanks.
Christy?
Hey, Eric, first of all, sending well wishes to Mike. Just with having the last couple of days off, what has the team looked like, with that rest underneath them now?
Yeah, I think it helped everybody. You could just tell coming in the door today, a lot of people just seemed just refreshed and upbeat. It helps always when you got those couple of days off after a win. Everybody kind of was able to regroup. We had a few players in here to work out yesterday, but yeah, I would hope so. I mean, I think this time of the year, right, everybody's probably a little beat up, a little nagging, whatever, but they know what time it is. We got players on this team that have played in games like this, and they'll be ready to go.
And just with Friday's game with New York, both Shavante, Leilani, and Tina, I forgot about Leilani for a second, but they all have, ties to that team. What do you think that is going to add to the energy of that evening?
I mean, it's probably a question for them. I think that team's so different now. I mean, I think we got a taste earlier in the year of what it means to Tina, obviously. But I think she said it in her own words. But yeah, it's a totally different team. I mean, none of them played for Jonathan. I don't think any of the players on that team really played with any of the players on our team. I could be wrong on that, but I don't off the top of my head. So I don't know. I think it's going to be more just, the season series on the line, playoff spot on the line, and, both teams know what's at stake and what they're trying to do.
And with last one for me, just with both teams shooting high volumes of threes, I mean, is it just that simple? Whoever gets them to drop, is that going to be the key factor in that game overall?
Maybe. I mean, that's why we play it. It's possible that's what it is. I mean, it could be rebounding, could be how we communicate and defend. It could be, how we take advantage of the other team's scheme. That they've been switching a lot defensively, and that offers different challenges. It's something we've seen a fair amount over the second half of the season. So, it'd be nice to make some threes. It'd be nice to keep them from making them, but you never know. What if both teams shoot the same percentage, and it could be something else.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
And then last question to Gabe.
Hey, Eric, again, repeating what everyone says, well wishes to your pops. Glad he's feeling well.
Congrats to
Have you
Gabe.
guys
Congrats to you?
Huh?
Congrats to you, Gabe.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be back. Appreciate the advice. No, I was going to ask, have you guys had to have a lot of conversations about who's picking up the responsibilities or the slack and among you, the coaches and the team in terms of everything that Mike does?
We've had a few. I mean, it shouldn't change too much, especially New York's not my scout. I mean, if you guys are interested in that sort of thing, they're not my scout, which probably means in that type of game, I'd probably just be kind of just thinking in terms of suggestions to him. Nobody's duties will change too much, probably, except for mine, and I'll probably just ask for more suggestions from the rest of the group. Make sure I don't screw up the timeouts, that type of thing. But I think the player, we've talked all year about the players being more alert to game situations and being more tied together at dead balls and stuff like that, being more communicative in timeouts. So If we do those things, like I don't think it should matter that much.
Thanks, Eric. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And Tosh is ready, so she'll be right in. Hi, Tosh.
Hey y'all.
If you have a question for Natasha, please raise your hand. We'll get started. We'll start with Rafiq.
Hey, Natasha, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Rafiq. How are you?
Doing fine. How high is the confidence level that you can finish off the playoffs, last playoff spot by defeating the New York Liberty this Friday?
Extremely high. I feel like I've been known for giving guarantees and stuff, but we're not being sent home. So we're very confident.
And if you recall, the last time you faced New York Liberty, you did kind of blow a 20-game lead. And in the past couple of games during the winning streak, you've known to protect leads. How effective will that be going into this Friday's game?
Very important. But especially, I think more important is we have our whole roster. So that last game against New York, I didn't play. That adds a little bit more defense. It adds the pace back to our offense. Adding Maisha back in, adding Ariel Atkins back in. So we are pretty much full strength again, which is nice. And we've been able to hold it down in their absence, but we're feeling extremely confident going into Friday. And I feel like we're kind of finally hitting our stride here late.
And a follow-up question, I just want to ask you, you heard about the news of your coach getting tested positive for COVID and not being able to coach the last few games for the regular season at least. Knowing that you have a chance to make the playoffs, what is the mindset being coached by Eric instead of Mike Tebow?
Same mindset. It doesn't change. Eric is a phenomenal coach. Majority of the season, he's led our practices. He's a constant voice within our huddles in the games. We trust him. So there's not a big drop off, and I've been with Eric for 7 years. So I have a lot of confidence in him as a coach. And I'm actually really happy for him that he gets to step into this kind of realm because this is the next chapter for him. But obviously our main concern is Coach T and Nancy as well, their health and their safety. And we're going to do what we can to ensure that they're being okay. And we have the best doctors here at MedStar to make sure that everything is taken care of, to make sure that the both of them are okay.
Appreciate your insight and good luck, and make sure you test negative.
Thank you. I did.
Scott.
Asha, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
I just want to kind of get just from the human element, Tasha, what was your reaction when you found out your head coach tested positive for COVID? Obviously, it's still ravaging across the world right now, and it's unfortunate people that are even still vaccinated are still getting popped with this virus. Just from the human element again, what was your reaction?
You're scared immediately. I called Coach T immediately after, they sent us a group text explaining what happened, just to make sure that he was okay. And then, our other concern is Nancy and making sure that they're healthy and that they're safe. And, when something happens like that to a family member, it hits you a lot harder. So again, this is bigger than basketball. This is something that is still plaguing us as a world, not only a country. But I would say that here in America, we need to have real discussions about what we're doing moving forward, because we have a lot of people being vaccinated and responsible, but we still have a lot of irresponsible and selfish people being unvaccinated, which is leading to these variants. It's no secret. The science is what it is. By not being vaccinated, you are endangering your community. And so at what point do you take it upon yourself to stop being a selfish asshole? I think I've said it multiple times on here. Get vaccinated, wear a mask, don't be an asshole. It literally is that simple. So we need to start shifting into caring about others. And so I wear my mask not only for me, but for other people. And I think that's the biggest shift that needs to happen here in America, is stop being selfish and do your part.
And Tasha, I hear the emotion in your voice, and obviously I don't want to pry, but when something like this hits close to home, it seems like let's be blunt, it pisses you off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everyone wants to act like, oh, it's against my constitutional right and this, that, and the third. Like, no, we are losing lives. Our toll, our death toll is now increasing every single day. we are about to go back into a lockdown situation. So again, at what point do we start taking science and trusting in the scientists and trusting in the science that is right in front of us and stop being selfish? So yeah, it is. It pisses you off because a lot of people are out here like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not happening to me. And then as soon as it happens to them, it's like little woe me. And it's like, we've been saying this from the jump. We've been telling you to get vaccinated. We've been telling you to wear your mask. We've been telling you to care about others. And now that it does affect you, now we want to switch kind of how we feel. So it's very frustrating.
With
Extremely.
all that being said, you are all too well aware of the adversity this team has faced this season. I don't have to give you the list. This is just another thing, and it comes at a crucial point of the season. Your playoff push. How can this team handle this latest adversity? I assume you guys are well prepared because of all the adversity and challenges you faced previously.
And still we rise. We have weathered the storm all season, and the outside world can look at us and be like, this is a down year for the Mystics, not even knowing half of what we've been through and half of what we've accomplished despite. So I'm very proud of this group, from staff to support staff to players, for their resiliency and for just putting our head down and working and kind of weathering the storm, taking the punches on the chin, brushing it off and going to work the next day. This isn't new to us. We faced this adversity all season long, but despite that, we're in a really good space right now. We had a really great practice today, again, after having 2 days off of people just resting their bodies, getting their mental back. So I feel really confident going into Friday.
Thanks, Tasha. Good seeing you.
Thank you. Good seeing you as well.
Tyler.
Hey, Tosh, good to see you.
Hi, Tyler.
I just kind of want to ask just a personal question for you. Just how are you feeling right now? I mean, I know it's still a stressful time. I know you've battled injuries throughout the year. Every time it seems like something good is going for you guys, it's just another obstacle that gets thrown in your way. Just overall, how are you handling it right now, personally?
I feel like I'm not gonna lie to you. There was points in the season where I was feeling mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every type of exhaustion you can feel from the adversity that was hitting, and then trying to be the poised leader through it. But I feel like the second half, since coming back from Olympic break, I've done a more solid job of owning, controlling what I can control, owning what my role is in pushing for this playoff push. And just feeling confident. I think it showed not only in my play personally, but in how I've dealt with, the adversity as one of the leaders on the team. So I feel really good, mentally, emotionally, physically, I feel good. So, I can't ask for more right now with where we're at.
And as you kind of touched on it a little bit, but as a leader, how are you learning how to make sure that all these issues aren't at the forefront of your team and you're still able to look through the mess and still go out and perform on game day?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is reminding everyone to be where your feet are. So, we can talk about what's happened in this season, but that doesn't matter. What matters is here today, on Wednesday, whatever time it is right now. This is what matters. So be in the moment, be present, be locked in, making sure that, and understanding every person is different on this team. So everyone needs something different from me as a leader. And I feel like I finally have kind of a grip on what every single person on this team needs, especially with all the roster changes, bringing new people in and out. It was kind of hard for me, but since coming back from this second half of this Olympic season, I feel like those 3 weeks of training camp really gave me time as a leader to put in deposits, so that when it comes to this time and these moments, I can make those withdrawals on the court, and they're understood. So it's definitely challenged me as a leader. It's definitely challenged my purpose this season, but I'm going to be better because of it.
Great. Thank you, Tosh.
Appreciate you, Tyler.
Gabe.
Hey, Natasha, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Gabe. How are you?
I'm good. So I was wondering, I know you said you have a great relationship with Mike. I know throughout the season, you and Mike, you have a great relationship with Eric. Throughout the season, you and Mike have had, from what I can tell, a little bit more conversations on the court. a little bit more back and forth on the court. Do you think your responsibilities in that way change on the court in terms of being, the go-between between the coach and the team?
Absolutely. I wouldn't say it changes that much. I think I still need to keep that constant communication. And I think what you're seeing, the dialogues that happen between me and Mike, are me taking a little bit more ownership and, okay, this is what I want to run. This is why I'm running it. We're having those conversations. And he's kind of giving me the keys to the car a little bit. And so I need to be the same. I need to be the consistency for Eric because this is new for him. I have no worries in the world. I'm really confident in him. I know he's confident in himself, but I can do him a real solid if I'm just my poised self. And, we're going to attack this together as a team, and it's going to take every single person, not only player, but staff as well this week.
Okay. And in terms of New York, the matchup itself, they have two really good guards, three when Sammy Whitcomb's available, but between Sabrina and Benaja, what sort of the differences between their games? And, I think you spent a little bit more time on Sabrina in the first matchup this season. Do you think you match up a little bit closer to her skill set than Benaja's?
I match up. Can you elaborate on what you mean by that? I'm a little confused.
You were just on Sabrina more in the first game.
Yeah, it was a little bit
Eric-
of a welcome to the W moment. I'm a big point guard. I'm our primary defender as well. So making sure that she felt me during that first matchup. The second matchup, though, I think respect needs to be paid to Naj. I don't think she's talked about enough. I don't think that she gets the flowers that she should for what she does for that team, but she is their X factor. And so that now draws my attention, which will be my matchup is Naj, because she's a bigger guard. She can not only shoot threes, she can shoot pull-ups, she can post up and get to the rim. She's a really strong defender as well. So that's going to be my matchup. Ariel Atkins is going to match up with Sabrina, and we're going to try to make their life living hell on Friday.
All right. Well, good luck, Natasha. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Gabe.
Christy?
Hey, Tosh.
What's up, Christy?
How are you? Tagging on to kind of what Gabe was saying about New York, but more specifically to the volume of threes that you all take, as well as for them. Would it be like kind of mirroring what you do in practice to take away things that you all like to do as well, in terms of taking away their catches and in comfortable spaces to get their threes off?
Absolutely. We want to disrupt on the defensive end as much as we can. And I think we've done a really good job of committing to that the last few games. So as much as we can, we want to push their catches out. We want to pressure Sabrina for 90 feet from the basket, forcing her to the right side of the floor. We want to make their job really tough on offense. They're a great team. They're flowing very well. They have players that have stepped up. I think the only difference in us is we just have a more inside presence. So we're going to try to utilize that, and they're going to have to figure out how to guard our post players. So we have an advantage, and we're shooting the ball very well right now. Everyone's kind of stepping into their shots confident. So it's going to be a really exciting game through and through, but I'm placing wagers on us.
Absolutely. I hear you. With that being said, my last question, with the emotion of that game, and obviously now with not having Mike on the sidelines, but having the vocal leadership that you provide, and you said you were going to be poised with that again this week, but do you increase that a little bit in the absence of Mike? I know Eric was saying that he's going to be relying on the team to be communicative in the huddles, even a little bit more so. Are you looking to kind of up that a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My job, I'm going to have to step up a little bit more this weekend for our team, but everyone collectively needs to step up the same as they did this past weekend when we were down Maisha and Ariel Atkins. When we're missing some of our soldiers, you got to step up and take on more of a role and more of a leadership role. So we're going to do our part, but I can't speak enough about how ready Eric is for this moment. And I'm really excited for him to have this moment because his basketball IQ is just through the roof. And he's been great for us for the 7 years that I've been here. He's been great for us. So I'm just really excited for him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy.
I think that's it, Tosh. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, get vaccinated, wear a mask, don't be an asshole.
Thank you.
And